Hey guys, we are 61 days away from the release of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and that means in exactly 2 months from today, we will be playing this game, reliving our childhoods, and for some of y'all, reliving your childhood trauma and getting dog walked by characters you have no business losing to. The only difference is instead of losing to your brother, your cousin, or your best friend on the couch, you'll be losing to countless players all across the world, and some of them will be Hercule mains. Oh, this game is truly back and bigger than ever, and many of you will never rise from the ashes of your shame and humiliation. Now, as promised, part one did really well, so I'm back with part two of what your main in Sparking Zero says about you as a player. Now, I'm already working on part three, and that's going to be going over the characters you guys put in the comment section of that video. But for part two, I thought it'd be fun to go over some of the villains, because who doesn't love a good villain? There's something so freeing about playing as some of the most ruthless, powerful, and morally challenged people in Dragon Ball. And who better to start this video off with than the first main big bad, Space Hitler. Now, I feel like if you're a Frieza main, you should expect to get a couple side eyes at first. This freaky alien genotype never met a race of people he didn't want to make extinct. And what's even crazier is his moveset. It's literally so sadistic that he could be a Mortal Kombat character. But what can you expect from someone where 80% of their technique starts with death? I mean, death beam, death ball, death wave, death saucer. We get it. Now, once you get past the genocidal racist allegations, I feel like Frieza mains are somewhat similar to Goku Super or Goku End of Z mains. He's a character with a variety of transformations and movesets that you'll undoubtedly want to get a feel for and try out before settling on your favorite version. Maybe many of you are probably torn between Z Frieza for nostalgia and versatility and Frieza Super because he's the newest and most powerful version of the character with the Golden Frieza. I expect some of you to swap between the two before settling on a main as well. Now, Frieza mains, I just have one polite request. Please do not spam the death beam the way we've been seeing the computers and the demos do. That looks like it's going to be one of the most frustrating supers in the game because it looks like it's also unblockable, as it should be. But truly a fitting move for all you sadists who gravitate towards Frieza. Next up is the giant green cicada monster and the epitome of perfection himself, Cell. Now, Cell is personally my favorite villain in original Dragon Ball because he's the best written out of the big three villains, and no, that's not up for debate. He may even be one of my mains, and I can't wait to see him in the next trailer, which will very likely cover the Android Cell saga. Now, I just know anyone who mains Perfect Cell, they're probably playing his theme in their head while they're beating your ass. And you guys know the one, the iconic Bruce Falconer score. I think Perfect Cell mains take a lot of pride in playing the character. He straight up humbled like 99% of the Z fighters and even beat Goku outright. One of the few antagonists in the series to actually be just flat out stronger and beat him by the end of the arc. His imperfect and semi-perfect forms aren't as popular, and I rarely see people use them as much. But Tenkaichi did have an incredible sequence when it came to transforming, where you can see him actually absorbing the androids. And I won't be surprised if a lot of people choose Imperfect Cell just to watch him, transform. But yeah, Perfect Cell is a very balanced fighter, just like Piccolo, in my opinion. In Tenkaichi, he could be dangerous up close or at mid-range with an arsenal of techniques he has throughout all of his forms. From draining life energy in his earlier forms to impenetrable barriers, teleportation, and kamehamehas that could wipe out an entire solar system. These are the type of players you don't want to let your guard down when fighting. And now we have Majin Buu, specifically Kid Buu, because I feel like he was the most popular out of all the Buu forms in the Tenkaichi games. And how could he not be? This little pink menace was one of the fastest and most unpredictable characters when it came to offense. Kid Buu mains have absolutely no chill and thrive on characters like this with chaotic movesets that can easily overwhelm opponents with power and speed. You could get hit with like 3 separate combos, a Kamehameha, or a Mystic combination in quick succession before you even realize that the match has started. And just know that Kid Buu mains don't just wake up choosing violence, they're choosing violence in their sleep. Like they wake up ready to fight. They won't give you time to breathe at all. My advice for anyone playing against a Kid Buu main, pick a character that can match or at least keep up with their speed, and keep your distance until you have the advantage because this guy's a literal demon. But you'll know the difference between a Kid Buu main who's actually good with the character and someone who just wants to be a chaos agent on the battlefield. Now that we have the main villains from Z out of the way, I can get into a few others, some new and some returning. Goku Black is a new addition to the Budokai Tenkaichi series, and we haven't seen a ton of gameplay from the character, but we've gotten a taste, and we've seen his supers, and he's pretty much everything you've imagined him to be from what we've seen in a lot of the demos and the trailers. Flamboyant, majestic, and wicked as hell, Goku Black has always been a popular character, and I think his Super Saiyan Rosé transformation is going to be especially popular. Goku Black mains probably love the inversion of the Goku we know, who has corrupted fighting techniques and a color palette you just can't deny. Everything from his hair to his energy attacks to his aura when he charges up to his scythe just lets you know that you're about to be disrespected with style. It gets even worse when he fuses with Zamasu. I mean, look at the most disrespectful slap I've seen in a Dragon Ball game. Well, yeah, next up is Janemba. Now, Janemba hasn't been confirmed for the game yet, but we all know he's coming. He's too cool and unique of a character to not put in the game, and people who main Janemba just want to do some wild shit. Like, they're similar to Kid Buu mains, honestly, but there's no denying how insane Janemba's moveset is in any game he's in. The dimensional warping, matter manipulation, and insane mid to long range techniques he has, it just makes him very difficult to play against, but even more difficult to master if he's going to be your main. Just like with Kid Buu, there's a lot going on with these types of characters, and you have my respect if you learn how to use their various techniques effectively in Sparking Zero, and you have my fear as well. Because it means you like a challenge, and you've earned every advantage you can get from mastering, their crazy, chaotic movesets. I already went over Broly in part 1, so if you're interested in him, please go check that video out. Cooler is another big brute similar to Broly, but without the super armor, if I'm not mistaken, at least in original Tenkaichi. Cooler's fourth transformation gave him one of the most brutal beatdowns of Goku before he turned the tables and went Super Saiyan, of course. But I mean, he literally ran through a Kamehameha powered up by Kaioken and was just stomping and flexing on Goku. He was basically Broly before we got Broly. In every game, Cooler feels overwhelming and powerful, so I expect it to be no different here. Cooler mains are probably in for, another game where he's just an all-out powerhouse. As for Android 19, if you main this guy, you probably have a humiliation fetish, either for yourself or maybe you're just really good with Android 19 and get satisfaction knowing you beat someone with Android 19. This might be worse than losing to Hercule, to be honest. And if Android 19 just so happens to be the character you play best with, just Pillsbury roll with it, I guess. But at least try Dr. Gero. You'll be made fun of less, I think. Yeah, gonna close this video off with Cybermen, since they just got confirmed in the latest Sparking Zero trailer. And I have no words for anyone who mains these little green gremlins. Out of 164 characters, you want to main something whose main attack is blowing themselves up. Either you want to make a statement by beating someone up with a Cyberman, or you just want to troll and catch someone with a self-destruct, and that's enough of a victory for you. There's no in between. But that does it for this video. Part 3 is coming out soon with some of the mains you guys left in the comment section, and a lot of random characters that I missed in this video and in part 1 as well. But yeah, maybe I'll make a part 4 if that gets too long. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, tell me who you guys plan to main in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Leave your comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out as a new YouTuber. Add me on PSN at StarterSaiyan13 so we can battle when Sparking Zero drops. And yeah, thanks for watching.